Hey everybody, it's Carpo again, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse here. I've been talking about religion for a few of my episodes here, and there's no particular reason. I haven't really had anything happen to me lately that made me question it, other than listening to a 40-hour lecture last week. It was an audiobook lecture about, in many installments, it was like 30 parts that were like 45 minutes long, I guess, and so it was 20-something hours, whatnot, and it was about religion through history and how it's affected the history of the world. And when you really do a little bit of deep research into that, you learn that there were a lot of horrific events beyond the ones that we hear about, but really get a deeper grasp on why many of these wars happened, why much of this animosity has taken place over history. So I came up with 3 reasons after careful thought. I've been considering this for a while. There are 3 main reasons why people take on a religion. And I may be wrong about this, but this is my, by my research I've found that there are 3 basic reasons why a person takes a religion, and there would be, number 1, they were raised with it. And a child's mind is very susceptible to believe whatever they're told. And if the kid's raised their entire life with a religion and they don't have the mentality to break free, they're not going to question what they're told. You respect your parents. You don't question your parents. And many do break away from it, and their parents are devastated quite often. And many relationships and families are broken up over religious differences, which is another reason why I despise religion. That people would dismiss another because they chose another religion, and that's wrong. But that's not always the case, but it is often. So number 1, we have the person who's raised with religion, and I would say that's probably about 90% of the people who are religious, or more, and that's my guess. The second type of person is the born-again Christian, or the born-again whatever faith you have. That's the person who had a life-changing event. And after hearing many different testimonies from people, I found that a majority of them say that they had something happen to them where they almost died, or where they were in a lot of pain, or where they were suffering, or something had happened to them that was extreme, to where it devastated their life. They asked God or Jesus for help, and they felt better, or something happened, or they had an awakening, or they had an experience that they believed was true, and by that conclusion believed that that religion must be true, because since they had that experience and the religion says that other religions are wrong, then they stick with it and refuse to look at anything else beyond that. They're so convinced that that's what the truth is that they won't even question it. And sometimes the born-again Christians can be the most intense ones, because they're so into it. It's like a new thing to them. The old school Christians have just had it, it's just their faith, it's what it is. Which faith is belief in something you can't see or prove, which is a hard one for me. So then there's the third type of Christian, the one who has researched and done a lot of insight and philosophy and becomes a Christian through knowledge. I haven't found one of those yet. And I bring that up, and I'm sure there's probably a few who have really looked deeply into all the texts and decided that Christianity was the truth. But I'm going to guess that if a person looked through all the doctrines before making a decision, they would not choose Christianity as their religion. So these are 3 different types of people, and what I'm trying to convey here is that we can break free from that 90+% of people who don't question what they've been told or what they've been taught. And this also shows through political affiliations. People who have particular political affiliations, right-wingers that are in families that are right-wingers, or all their co-workers, or all their friends, or their spouse. Now, this has been very common with spouses. They'll take on their spouse's beliefs, they'll take on their spouse's religion, they'll take on their spouse's everything. As if you can just swap over, and switch religions or switch political beliefs based on what another person thinks. Is that thinking for yourself? No. Now, my wife and I have different views on things, but we have many similar views on most things, especially political. She can't stand Republicans. She sent me a text the other day saying, she has she knows this person that's always complaining about about Obama. It's Obama this, Obama that, Obama did this, and healthcare is going to destroy us. And my guess is her husband's just a hardcore and, right winger, and she hears it all the time, so she repeats it. And these are the same people who end up getting into politics sometimes, and that's what's scary. Like they say, a true philosopher would not want to be a politician. And that's the hardest thing, is they talked about the philosopher kings, kings that rule with not just divine authority but knowledge to pursue the truth for all of mankind. But once a person attains that knowledge, they have no desire to be politically affiliated. It's kind of the catch-22 of politics. The good people don't want to be involved. And I hate to say it, but it's the same way with cops. Most good people don't want to be cops. They want to be a cop because of circumstance, or because they desire. A good example for me is sports. I saw an interview with the football player. The Super Bowl's tomorrow. Whoop-de-doo. I live in Washington State. The Huskies are playing. I don't care if they win. I'm really not interested at all. People are like, but it's your state. I say, but so what? It's a state. What does that have to do with anything? It's still football. I'm not interested in football. But it's kind of funny that people are calling it the Weed Bowl. Somebody said, I'm like, why? Just call it the Super Bowl. It's still an awesome name. We always used to say the Super Bowl was our day to hang out and smoke weed and go on a drive, whatever. But now there's these two weed states competing. I think it's pretty funny. But sports teams. I heard this interview with this sports player. He was a football player, and he said, it was Colbert, Stephen Colbert. And he asked the guy, he said, so do you like hitting people? And he said, oh yeah. He said, that's why I do this. I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, it's not like I was surprised. I just it's a pretty blunt statement, And he's just like, he was going into detail about, how he likes to hear that, and that groan and that crunch when he hits somebody. And yeah, he feels good about it. This is why a lot of people get into sports. It's particularly football, rugby. Not just competitive. Some people are overly competitive and they have to win. I've always had a problem with sore losers, people who throw their tantrum when they lose something. It's like, grow up, But these tend to be the people who are in sports. And I'm trying not to generalize. I don't mean that all sports players are bad. A lot of them are very intelligent people. And they do very well. I think that they're overpaid, but that's just my opinion. It's just another one of those facets of humanity. It's like the old gladiators. We're watching blood sport. We love it. We love to watch people fight one another. It's like, I just don't. I've never been interested. I've seen very intelligent people who are big fans of boxing, and they've said, they've tried to say, well, it's the, they've tried to give it some metaphysical, deeper meaning. I'm like, dude, it's guys hitting guys in the face. There's nothing more to it. And it doesn't matter how ancient it is. It doesn't matter what history it has behind it. These are people beating each other's brains in. It's ludicrous to me. But that's my opinion, and that's my point to this. I see it from a particular point of view, and I understand that others see it from a different point of view. And a person who likes boxing might, in every other way, be a well-rounded person. Perhaps a great person in society. They just enjoy sports. So we can't just cast away people who like sports and say all people who like sports are idiots. It's the same way with religion. I can't just say all religious people are idiots, because they're not. I know many good Christians who are good people and mean well and don't harsh on others for what they believe. And each person learns to interpret things their own way. And unfortunately, a majority of people in this country, where I live at least, they're really ignorant to thinking for themselves. And it's sad, because we all get generally put into that category. And it's sad. I'm not that way. I'm not that kind of person. I'm a good person. I love people. And I love life. So anyway, hope everyone has a great day. Namaste, and I'll see you all on the flip side.